Yes, Croix, aka the Dark Child, aka the dude with the shades, aka the gunslinger with the censored gun, aka not really broken in La Pucelle, aka broken on raids in Disgaea RPG. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video, this time talking about Croix. He, along with Briere, is one of the first units we got from the La Pucelle collab, and he's most definitely one of the best units this collab has to offer. Stat-wise, he's similar to platinum units or seasonal units, and even though his kit revolves around him being the main attacker or sub-attacker, you'll probably want to use him as a supporter. Without further ado, let's analyze how to use Croix. As an attacker, he's not ideal. Even after receiving his buff, he won't be able to reach the 15 million attack. His NA0 provides a 14% attack and resistance to humanoid allies, 16% after receiving his buff. This ability allows him to go on physical humanoid mixed teams. On the other hand, his NA5 gives an extra 6% critical rate, which later becomes 8%. Gun units already have a good critical rate, and Croix further improves that trait, even if just a little. His NA7 is another good reason to have him on your team, as it gives the enemy a 15% attack and defense reduction. I left his NA1 for last, as this is his only selfish ability. A damage increase is definitely a good effect, but 40% going to 45% isn't really that great, especially considering that he doesn't have stats suited for a main attacker. Nonetheless, it will help him to deal more damage. For partners, Croix wants to be next to a good main DPS. For mixed teams, Thunderlord Laharl is a great option. His 30% speed boost from Thunderlord's Order is excellent for Croix because of his naturally good speed and the fact that guns give extra speed. As usual, Thunderlord Laharl struggles because of the lack of universal SP batteries, but we're about to enter that stage of the game where universal batteries become the norm. Another easy pick is Supreme Laharl. Omitting everything he provides as a supporter, he works well as a main attacker thanks to his single target S-rank attack, which provides a 30% buff to attack and defense for the party. Meliodas is of course the best attacker in the game right now, thanks to his absurdly high stats, and his low-cost AoE attack is especially good because he doesn't rely on a battery as much as other units. For gun teams, the best main DPS that are available in the game are Diaz, Awakened Rosalind, and Croix himself. Right now I wouldn't recommend you to use gun teams with Croix, as they lack good attackers, but that will change soon enough. For supporters to put next to him when he's a sub-attacker, go for things which boost humanoids, boost physical damage, provide SP, or inflict debuffs. Awakened Rosalind is excellent with Croix as a supporter because she gives initial SP, debuffs the enemy, and takes advantage of Croix' NA5. Human Asagi is another good supporter thanks to the buffs on her skills. Her SP gen, which allows her to abuse her skills, as well as her NA0 and NA7, which further increase the damage output of your humanoid units. If you want a tank, Eclair is a very solid option, because she has a skill which grants her the cover status. Most of her skills and abilities make her tankier, and she also supports humanoid allies, but to take full advantage of her, try to build a more female-oriented team. Right now, Priestess Cecily is a must for any Rainbow team, as there are no good universal batteries, and her SP transfer skill is very important if you want to clear stages fast. If you decide to go the gun route, maybe you want to put Rosalind in your team. Her NA5 gives 10 SP to gun wielders, and Croix has mega speed up, so you can use her just as you would use Jennifer or Miss Burial, but due to the lack of good skills and spells, the best you can do with her is spam Mega Enfeeble to reduce the enemy's attack. For healers you can use any staples, but there is a healer who pairs particularly well with Croix. If you are using a sword wielder as your main DPS, I suggest you use Lovely Flown. Her Love Shower increases the party's speed by 3%. I know it's not much, but the higher the numbers the more that 3% increases its value. If you're using a speedy team, then you will get a lot of mileage out of it. Another benefit of using Lovely Flown is that she has standard healing spells and Mega Armor Break. Paired with her SP battery, that means you won't have to wait long before being able to use Giga Heal. In the future, keep an eye for Emisil Zeno. He isn't a 15 million attacker, but he packs an excellent set of abilities which increase his own damage, as well as monstrous skills which will turn his crits into killing blows. Peta is another gun unit that might catch your eye. She is a supporter for crit builds, and she can even increase the buff duration of the party by 1 turn. For Rainbow teams, Frost Lord Rosalind and Fire Lord Margarita are good options, though they force you to use a Rainbow team rather than a mixed team. Other than that, any other humanoid attackers and supporters will work well with Croix. Krichevskoy, Zeta, Supreme Edna, Supreme Girl Laharl, Formal Barbatores, Future Warrior Plenaire, Nissa, Usa, Salia, Great Demon Lord Feast Liserota, Archangel Flown, Formal Artina, Reubens, Sapphire Zeno. There are just too many options for humanoid attackers and supporters, because there are too many good staples in that category. To finish, let's talk about Croix as a supporter. Through this, he isn't that great for normal content. He packs a ton of good spells, but that's fairly standard for collab units. And even if his skills and abilities are good, they aren't really broken. What's broken about him is the fact that he has good skills, good spells, good abilities, and a barrier -1 skill. If you combine all that, you have a versatile unit which can provide whatever kind of buff you may need, debuff the enemy, work as a sub-attacker, and get rid of those annoying barriers. Croix chip's AoE increases his critical rate and reduces the barrier countdown. The critical rate effect comes into play with his next skill. His high-cost AoE attack increases the critical damage of all allies when he crits. You want to use this skill when you reach the buff cap on attack to further increase your damage. And his single target S-rank skill ignores the target's buffs, but you probably won't be using that skill since he works best as a supporter. For spells he has Mega Armor Break at level 22, Mega Braveheart at level 30, and Mega Speed Boost at level 40. Most people will stop at level 30, but I think it's a good idea to get Mega Speed Boost. You never know when it will make a difference. When using Croix as a supporter, give his gun critical rate up instead of critical damage up, since it's more important to activate his party-wide buff instead of dealing more damage with him. As you know, versatility is one of the most important things when building a team, and Croix's ability to work on any humanoid team, as well as being a buffer, a debuffer, and a barrier breaker, means he can fit into any of your humanoid teams for raids. And with that, we're done. If you liked the video, share, like, subscribe. See you next time, guys. Bye!